That's it for the remaining unbeaten teams in the country. This is the SEC on ESPN. Sam Ward along with Carolyn Peck. And yes, South Carolina is unbeaten so far, but they had a bit of a scare on Thursday in Kentucky.
South Carolina was 11 points down, and the super sophomore Asia Wilson took over. She demanded the basketball. She attacked the rim. Hell, she was only 2 blocks away from a triple-double, so it wasn't just on the offensive end. She flexed her muscle on the defensive end to pull off the win for the Gamecocks.
Wilson averaging a double-double against ranked teams this year. Courtney Walker, a terrific threat for the Aggies.
Last 6 games, she has averaged 20 points a game. You're going to see the purest mid-range game in the SEC.
Leading his team at 17.5 points per game. Another fantastic crowd on hand, about 12,000 or so. And Asia Wilson unable to get the tip, and Texas A&M gets it first. Texas A&M, the last team to win a game here, and that came almost 3 years ago. So none of the freshmen, sophomores, or juniors have ever lost here, and you talked about her in the open, and Courtney Walker delivers right away.
She's got to make a lot of those jumpers against the size of South Carolina, especially with South Carolina staying in a man-to-man defense.
Tiffany Mitchell with the ball in her hands, a 2-time SEC Player of the Year, coming off off-season foot surgery. Get it inside to Wilson. Fans here want a foul, and they finally get it. Wilson working hard. And when she gets the ball down there, pretty much unstoppable.
Well, and she has really played with huge dominance inside and finishing through contact. And I believe a lot of that has to do with the experience that she had playing for USA Basketball, understanding the physicality when you get into SEC play.
Wilson completes the 3-point play. She gets to the line more than anybody else on the South Carolina team, but only a 64% free throw shooter. That's one of the few things that South Carolina does not do well as a team. And Courtney Walker is 2 for 2.
She's coming off that ball screen.
Number 1, South Carolina, trailing Texas A&M 4-3, just underway in Columbia. South Carolina, number 2 in the country, unbeaten. Tiffany Mitchell's first shot of the day goes in, and it's a 3. She is finally starting to look like the Tiffany Mitchell of the last couple of years, coming off that foot surgery.
SEC, 2-time SEC Player of the Year, and for her to get to full strength, that could really make South Carolina a very dangerous team.
A lot of people would say they're already pretty darn dangerous.
They really are.
They would be lethal if she can continue her upward arc.
Well, 2 of their big 3 have already scored. Now it's Elena Coates' time.
Elena Coates and Asia Wilson, both of them came off the bench last year. Mitchell, aggressive early, but that won't fall. Rebound for Anrielle Howard, a freshman from Atlanta who is a terrific rebounder.
And she had a big rebound today against LSU.
And that is Jordan Jones, the senior from DeSoto, Texas, coming off an ACL injury, hurt that last February, and that was a crushing blow to this team.
Well, Curtis Knox had to start the final 6 games of the season. And Jordan Jones is just, she's the mind, she's the brainchild to lead this Aggie women's basketball team.
Coates wants the ball. They got it to her momentarily at least, and then it goes out of bounds. Wilson trying to get it to her, and Coates having a conversation with Asia coming up the court.
But watch Tiffany Mitchell ready to catch and release. And Pam, we watched her after the team practice yesterday. I don't know how many shots she put up, but she was there for a good 45 minutes, and I only saw her miss 3.
Yeah, and you know that she showed up early as well. An incredible work ethic. Chelsea Jennings coming off a career-high 29 points in her last game against Ole Miss. She had never even scored 20 in a game before. Hits her first shot today. Both teams off to a hot start. Asia Dozier looking for some help. There's Wilson underneath. Good physicality by Howard. That's the second turnover for Carolina. How good is Courtney Walker? So quick.
Really good.
She's hit her first 3 shots. That's the first one from inside the paint. And this crowd is going, what's going on here? We're not used to this. South Carolina's won 42 straight games at home. Tops in the nation. Another turnover. Chelsea Jennings forces it, and Jennings finishes on the other end. We look over at Dawn Staley, and she is not calling a timeout, just shaking her head over there.
Her team has developed a reputation of having a slow start in the first quarter, but Dawn Staley knows things will get better as the game goes on.
That is a 9-0 A&M run. They were off to a terrible start against Kentucky on Thursday. Wilson goes to her left. She is left-handed and puts it in. And that ends the 9-zip A&M run. Jordan Jones off balance. Hillsman couldn't quite get the rebound, and Jones clipped Sessions for Jordan's first personal foul.
The fast break for A&M is something that the Kentucky Wildcats had successful early on Thursday, and you see A&M running in transition, not pulling up, not setting up, but staying in attack mode. Well, one of the things that Dawn Staley is looking for in order to get Elena Copes the basketball, the timing from the passer and her duck in, they've got to work better together, and you do so with eye contact. Look how far Jen Jones in the lane off Khadijah Sessions every time the ball looks at the paint.
And Walker trying to check Tiffany Mitchell, who went in and finished with her offhand.
Mitchell's back in full strength. I think that she should be in the conversation for Player of the Year.
Howard, the freshman, got Wilson up in the air, and then Wilson was able to effect the shot. Elena Coates gets the rebound, whips it out to Sessions, very heady point guard, who knows that she's got to be an offensive threat. What a lob from Dozier, and Coates couldn't finish. Elena Coates misses her first shot of the game. She is having an outstanding season. She was honored before the game for scoring her 1,000th career point. Mitchell does it again. You're right, Karen. We saw her earlier in the year, and you could tell that Tiffany was a little tentative on that foot. She said to us that her confidence wasn't there. She's back.
She is. Not just we saw her offense early, hitting the three, attacking the basket. There we saw her explosiveness on the defensive end.
For a 9-0 A&M run, South Carolina has now scored the last 6 points of this game to close to within one. Mitchell trying to go inside. It is knocked out by Howard. And a first time out of the game. Great start. A&M up 13-12, but Tiffany Mitchell doing some work.
Two-time SEC Player of the Year. It ain't just about offense. Defense makes it happen.
I'm Carson Palmer, professional quarterback, and this is my highlight reel. One of the highlights from this year was getting to spend time with my son, Fletch. He had leg surgery. I had ACL reconstructive knee surgery.
That's my real share.
And we got to go through rehab together. His whole focus was to be strong. Get me off you. It was really cool to show how much we care about each other. I go to work as a football player. Oh, nice catch, Al. But I was put here on earth to be a father. Doveman plus care. Care makes a man stronger.
Why fit in when you were born to stand out? The 2016 Nissan Altima has arrived.
Would you like more money with your refund? How about $1,000 more?
Turbo music.
$1,000 people win $1,000 on top of their refund every single day.
I will not lose.
It's refund season!
You know, I bet we could sell this.
Totally.
Knowing the odds are stacked against you.
What happened to the montage? That was fast.
Let FedEx help your small business get there.
Mix and match your faves on McDonald's new McPick 2 for $2 menu. Like new melty mozzarella sticks with a juicy McDouble or golden fries with a crispy McChicken. McPick 2. Just ask for it.
We are back at South Carolina. Number 2 Gamecocks trailing Texas A&M 13-12. Both teams off to a hot start in this game. Pam Ward along with Carolyn Peck. And we talked about Tiffany Mitchell coming back from foot surgery, and she looks as good as ever.
Well, that was 14 weeks of not doing too much of anything. And she went to work. She was frustrated at the beginning of the season and really was afraid she would not be able to get back to SEC Talented Player of the Year contention. But with moves like this, Pam Ward, you said it. She is back. And we watched her not only make perimeter shots after practice yesterday, work off the bounce. And WNBA pros have to keep an eye on Tiffany Mitchell, not just for her skill, but also her work ethic.
She is a senior, and her numbers actually in SEC games are higher than they were during the non-conference schedule, and part of that is getting some confidence back. She wasn't able to put in quite the same work because she is, you talk about work ethic, oh my goodness, she might be the best in the country at that. Shows she's human by missing the shot. Good rebound by Howard. Her third of the game. And Howard, a true freshman from outside of Atlanta. That's a little restless still.
And Texas A&M was able to get a lot of confidence early, hitting those jumpers.
Locked away, shot clock going south of 10 seconds. Rachel Mitchell has checked in, 6'7". She just set the screen that sent Sessions to the floor, and Sessions is hurting. Rachel Mitchell, the 6'7" redshirt senior, just checking in and set a big-time screen on Sessions, who's about a foot shorter than Rachel. Marcella Shorty is South Carolina's athletic trainer.
Looked like to me a knee to the thigh action as she was coming off the screen from Rachel Mitchell. That's going to sting a little bit.
And Sessions sits at the end of the bench. And Bianca Cuevas comes in, the roller coaster ride of a sophomore point guard for Dawn Staley.
But when you're playing a team like Texas A&M that like a transition game, that plays right into the hands of what Bianca Cuevas and how she likes to play.
She likes to play fast. Her shot selection could be better, according to Coach Staley. Kid from the Bronx. Wilson gets it rejected by Mitchell. Walker on the run, lost the ball, and then was able to gather it back thanks to Howard. Tiffany Mitchell is shadowing Courtney Walker. Cuevas picked Jones' pocket. That will get her into Dawn's graces. Good graces early. South Carolina has outscored A&M 8-0 over the last 4 minutes. Coates got the rebound and was fouled by Howard. That is 2 on Howard. That's big for A&M.
Well, Dawn Staley's got to like that Cuevas, when she came on the floor, she made her presence defensively first, not pulling the jumper, not trying to knock down an outside shot.
There's a good look at Dawn Staley. Both of our head coaches are in the Women's Basketball Hall of Fame. Dawn inducted in the Naismith Hall of Fame in Springfield in 2013. A terrific point guard at Virginia. In fact, she had a game-winning shot to beat Stephen F. Austin when Gary Blair was coaching there.
But did you watch her on the sideline? She was demonstrating how to post up. She was talking about post moves.
Yes. All 5, 6 of her on a good day. That's the 4th turnover. And there's Coach Blair, the one and only, on his 300th game at A&M in their last victory. That was against Ole Miss. And his 708 career wins ties the legendary Sue Gunter for 13th most in Division I history. A&M has missed its last 6 shots after a 6-for-7 start. Make it 7 in a row. South Carolina 18th in the nation in scoring. Coates wants it. She had the size advantage over Lumpkin. Mitchell's made a difference since coming in. Mitchell was able to get a hand on that, and the ball goes back over to the Aggies.
With the ball going inside, Rachel Mitchell is 6'7". In talking to Dave Waxman, the SID for Texas A&M, he said she wakes up every morning 6'7".
Yeah. Something you can't teach.
But throughout her career, she's been a little soft, a little passive. She's playing much more aggressive in her senior season.
Asked for the ball, but Tiffany Mitchell was able to steal it. That's 4 turnovers for A&M. Tina Roy just into the game. Inside to Coates. Nice assist for Roy. Tina Roy, the best outside shooting threat, gets a nifty assist. Coates' first bucket. And the run is 10-zip. Jones gets the Mitchell screen, puts it up and in. She is a smooth ball player. Her brother Matt plays at Duke. And Matt was able to see A&M beat Duke in overtime earlier this year up in Durham. And a foul called on South Carolina's Jatari White on a screen.
Just the defense, Tiffany Mitchell, and then the look ahead recognizes Tina Roy, who recognizes Elena Coates for the quick 2 in transition.
That's something that South Carolina has been talking about, getting the ball into Coates and getting Coates to get in better position so they could get her the ball.
Well, it's the timing, because a lot of times she will post, and it's a lot of hard work to post, but you can't post up if your passer's not ready to pull the trigger to pass the ball inside.
Nice pass to Lumpkin, who got fouled and has a chance for a 3-point play. Jasmine Lumpkin, the transfer from Michigan State, comes in and gets the bucket. Tiffany Mitchell commits her first foul, second team foul, against Carolina. 3 for Texas A&M. You get 5 team fouls per quarter before the bonus kicks in under the new system of 4 10-minute quarters. Lumpkin left it short. Coates got another board. We've had 6 lead changes in this first quarter as it winds down. And let's see, Carolina gonna want to take the last shot. Cuevas, maybe not the best shot selection there. Walker could not get it off in time. A very entertaining first quarter. A&M with a 1-point lead. South Carolina ends on a 10-2 run.
Well, more in transition. That's a good way to get the ball to the big girl so she can make those buckets easy.
We got robbed. We've been robbed. Hey, what? We got robbed.
What?
My rings are gone.
You ain't got no rings.
Sure don't.
Don't worry, Mrs. Hooper. If you ever do get a ring, State Farm can cover your jewelry in case of a robbery.
Mama's got no rings.
Really, baby?
I want a ring.
Somebody need changes, baby. Ooh.
State Farm, keeping your home court covered.
To introduce the new Infiniti QX50, we could have shown it on a winding mountain pass, or somewhere even more cliche, like a downtown street. But what distinguishes the Infiniti QX50 isn't where you can take it, it's how you feel taking it there. With generous cargo space, extended second row legroom, and coupe-like handling. The new QX50 from Infiniti.
Here at the TD Ameritrade Trader Group, they work all the time. What's up, JJ? Working hard?
Working 24/7 on Mobile Trader, rated #1 trading app in the App Store. It lets you trade stocks, options, futures, even advanced orders. And it offers more charts than a lot of the other competitors do in desktop.
You work so late. I guess you don't get to see your family very much.
I see them all the time. Did you finish your derivative pricing model, honey?
For all the confidence you need, TD Ameritrade, you got this.
Good brings the kind you get. Kinda like gold. Hope the sun comes right again. Flashing lights. Flashing lights. Flashing lights.
plans for NBA Saturday Primetime. Bulls, Cavs, Saturday at 8:30 on ABC. Presented by La Quinta. Bulls, Cavs, Saturday at 8:30 on ABC.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Progressive. Comparing rates to help you save. Now that's Progressive.
Big Monday is tomorrow night, part of My Home Court. We've got two huge games at 7 Eastern. Syracuse battles number 9 Duke in the ACC. They've had some epic battles. Then at 9 Eastern in the Big 12, Bohemian and Buddy Hield. And number 2, Oklahoma play Iowa State. Both games streaming live on Watch ESPN and the ESPN app. Hield, one of the funnest players to watch.
Oklahoma, fun to watch. They like to shoot that 3 ball.
Dawn Staley, what do you think she likes about the first quarter?
I think that she likes the defense, and I think she likes the effort that her team is making of getting the ball in the paint.
A&M only scored 4 points in the last 6.5 minutes of that first quarter. Both teams shooting well. A&M at 50%, South Carolina at 47%. And 12 of South Carolina's 16 points, as Carolyn referenced, coming in the paint. Tiffany Mitchell, sporting the double pigtails today, had a good first quarter. 7 points. And Courtney Williams is in the game. Number 1 in maroon. We had not seen her in the first quarter. Mitchell left it short. And Williams, so important, has missed the last couple of games with a bad back. Gary Blair was hoping to get 20 minutes out of her today. We'll see how she responds. Had some acupuncture, she told you, right, to help treat the back?
Yeah, that along with some stim. And Courtney Walker talked about how they really miss her in that starting lineup because Walker and Williams used to balance the floor. You had deadly weapons on both sides.
They are the 2 top scorers on this team, the 2 Courtneys. Shot clock winding down. Cuevas starts the second quarter at point. Tina Roy, short. Cuevas tried to save it, and it's a shot clock violation, turnover to A&M. Curtis Knox also in to start the second quarter. She had started their last game against Ole Miss at the point, but Coach Blair wanted Jordan Jones out there today because he was concerned about this environment. It's a great environment.
You want to have experience in a player that has a lot of composure, and that's why he went with Jordan Jones. And I think that he made a great change coming into the second quarter. He started the second quarter in a zone where he played the first quarter all man-to-man.
Knox being guarded by Cuevas, the 2 backup point guards. Big trouble for Walker, but she recovers. Courtney Williams usually would shoot it from there, instead decides to drive. And Tina Roy chases it down. Roy left alone, misses her spot. And an offensive rebound from Mitchell, and things will reset. Asia Wilson doubled quickly. She tried to get the shot off anyway. Terrific defense. Lumpkin and Rachel Mitchell combining.
We talked about the slow starts of South Carolina and how throughout the game their field goal percentage goes up. And a lot of that has to do with South Carolina's ability to wear you down because Dawn Staley's got 4 bigs. She can rotate inside and she can continue to run.
Deep bench, saw that Thursday when Kentucky ran out of steam. Kentucky only down to about 8 players. Mitchell off the mark. Rachel Mitchell has 3 of A&M's 5 blocks already in this game. Deja Sessions on the bench took a hard hit on a screen, but she is available to come back in. Cuevas still running the point. Boy, Rachel Mitchell has made a huge impact defensively. Knox left open, and it's kept alive. Walker batted it out. Fans here restless, thinking there was a double dribble and or travel. C. Williams can't get it in. And a good job by A&M to keep it active. Wilson with the block. And Asia Wilson runs over Curtis Knox. Maybe she didn't see her.
She was looking for the ball.
Well, Knox is also she's teeny.
Well, she's about half her size, too.
First foul on Asia Wilson.
Gary Blair has got to be pleased with the minutes he's gotten out of number 23, Rachel Mitchell.
Neither team has hit a field goal in this quarter. White goes out for Coates, and you might have heard the crowd cheer. That's because Khadijah Sessions has come back in after leaving with a little bit of an injury. Walker bounced in and out, but that is just a beautiful jump shot. Courtney's only 5'8", but plays taller because she does elevate on that shot. And a good gamble by Courtney Williams. 3-on-2. Jones to Walker, who can't hit it. Mitchell drives on Jones. She's used that left hand a lot.
Asia Wilson set a screen as she posted up, and Mitchell was able to take advantage on the drive.
First points of the second quarter for either team. It took 3.5 minutes for anybody to score. And it was Mitchell. Courtney Williams looks over to get a call from Gary Blair, who was concerned that the crowd noise might hurt them in trying to get play calls in. This is going to be a turnover. It was a back court, but the shot clock was about to expire anyway. It was down to 2 seconds.
Watch on this drive as Tiffany Mitchell goes all the way to the left side. You've got Asia Wilson on the post-up, just cleared the lane for Mitchell to go all the way down on the left side.
Tiffany Mitchell averaging about 17.5 points per game in SEC contests. It's about 3 more than her overall average.
Now, what I have seen so far out of Tiffany Mitchell today, in most games, she's kind of trying to figure out where she fits, what should she do when. Today, she was the enforcer. She said, it starts with me, and then everybody else can fall in.
A wonderfully talented player going for her 3rd straight SEC Player of the Year. Decides to shoot it, give her a little room, and she'll take it. Wilson, terrific rebound. That's good work. Fifth rebound and 6th and 7th points for Carolina. A&M has yet to hit a field goal in this quarter.
And they've missed layups, and I know that's driving Gary Blair nuts.
Lumpkin guarded by Coates, who is way tall. That was a big shot, much needed by Chelsea Jennings. It's only A&M's 3rd field goal in the last 11 minutes.
With Coates in the game, A&M goes back to a man-to-man.
Mitchell threw it away. 9 turnovers now for South Carolina, who averaged only about 13.5 on the season for Dawn Staley, who is animated as usual over there on the sidelines.
So what she's frustrated about is she wanted Tiffany Mitchell to make one more pass to the corner and then into the post, instead of trying to make that home run pass inside to Asia Wilson from a tough angle.
Take a couple of doubles instead of the home run.
There you go.
Sessions aggressively will be called for the foul. That is the first on Sessions. How about Asia Wilson doing some work?
The super sophomore just doing the same thing she did against Kentucky on the glass and then putting it in.
We're handing out $32 million, $1,000 at a time. 1,000 people win $1,000 every single day. Get in on this. It's refund season.
Good brings the kind you get. Kinda let go. Hope the sun comes right again.
Simply the
Australian Open, January 17th to the 31st on ESPN, ESPN2, and streaming live on Watch ESPN and the ESPN app.
So everybody's going to have their new security card in their mailbox on Friday.
Under the locks.
Justice Winslow! Order in the court, Butchie. Justice is served.
Hey, can you send Justice a text?
Sure, Poppy.
Just tell him he's jumping like crazy and playing great D. I'm proud of him.
He says thanks.
That's nice.
I hope my golf ball doesn't get lost in his hair, because that's going to be a tough line. What a salad on Justice Winslow.
Just don't forget to breathe.
Tell me where the wild things are. Don't mind us. Tell me where the wild things are.
Make plans. NBA Saturday primetime. Bulls, Cavs, Saturday at 8:30 on ABC. Presented by La Quinta.
Everything you can watch on ESPN, you can now live stream on the ESPN app.
Hey! Does it work on Android, Slade?
It works on all your devices.
I'm Doug Kazarian. Coming up on the Land Rover Halftime Report. Remember, we're 3 weeks away from seeing this South Carolina squad host #1 UConn. Kara Lawson will discuss that much-anticipated matchup. Texas also undefeated, hosting Baylor later today. Kara will preview that top 10 battle. See you at the break. Pam, Carolyn.
All right, always look forward to what Kara has to say. Boy, Texas and Baylor coming up. Baylor with just one loss on the season.
Now, that game that Baylor had was without Nia Johnson.
Tuesday at 7 Eastern on ESPN Men's Basketball. Yogi Ferrell and Indiana take on Illinois. And then coming up after that, the one and only Ben Simmons and LSU take on Texas A&M. Super Tuesday presented by Hotels.com, streaming live on Watch ESPN and the ESPN app. Baylor's still a little bit banged up as they go into that game this afternoon.
Yeah, but I'm hoping to get to the airport enough time to see part of that game, because Texas has got a great balance. They've got a tremendous inside game with Imani Boyette. They've got guards who can shoot the ball. And then you have Baylor, who's got the bigs. They're both freshmen. Oh, Kayla Hillsman finishing in the paint. But Baylor has Nia Johnson and Alexis Jones, who are playing well outside. So they've got to balance outside, inside as well.
Should be a very entertaining game. Again, that's coming up after this game on ESPN2 from beautiful Austin, Texas. And Lisa Mattingly calls a foul against Kyla Hillsman, her first.
Elena Coates was putting in work, trying to establish position. She's not going to let Dawn Staley have to fuss at her about she's not working to call for the basketball. She was constantly moving her feet and showing her numbers so she could get the basketball.
Coach Staley talks about showing both of your numbers so your littles can get it into you. Wilson working nicely for her 8th and 9th point.
She is going to be so special within the next 2 years of her career. When you look at the improvement from her freshman year to now.
We just had our 9th and 10th lead changes back to back. Chelsea Jennings with 8, coming off a career-high 29 in a win against Ole Miss on Thursday. Jordan Jones pestering Sessions, and they're going to get Jones for too much body. That's one of the points of emphasis this year. Our officials today, by the way, Lisa Mattingly, Brian Interline, and Brian Garland.
You watch South Carolina finding Asia Wilson, and I love the swing through, and then she's left-handed. She finished with that left hand on the right side of the basket.
Now remember, Asia came off the bench last year. She was the SEC Freshman of the Year, 3rd-team All-American, and her numbers are up. Benefiting, USA basketball experience benefiting a lot of players.
But her numbers are not only up, but against ranked teams, they're up.
She's had a double-double against all 5 ranked teams this year. She's working on another one today with 9 points and 5 rebounds. Bertice Knox calls a play. Jennings doubled in the corner. She's in trouble. And the travel, good defense. That's Roy and Coates with the trap.
You watch Coates and Tina Roy just swarm and then stay. That causes the turnover. Ball goes to the Gamecocks.
That is the 6th turnover for Texas A&M. South Carolina has scored 10 of its 22 points off of Aggie turnovers. Tiffany Mitchell's been quiet for a little while offensively. Dozier puts one up. That is a rainbow of a shot that missed everything.
One of the things that Courtney Walford told us was that Gary Blair was going to raise his offense, pull the post up on the block to give penetrating opportunities, leave vacant blocks.
Pass that goes across court and into the hands of Sessions. And she decided to pull it out, even though Wilson had a huge height advantage inside, and they finally get it to her. Bertice Knox trying to guard her. You just can't do that. Timeout, A&M. Texas A&M trailing Carolina by 1. We help take a timeout as well.
This is how lenders saw me. In my 20s, I was super irresponsible with credit cards. Shopping, going out all the time. I knew it was time for Experian. They gave me the tools to see what helps and hurts my FICO score, so I could finally get serious about managing my credit. Now lenders see me for who I really am. Someone who would never rack up a lot of debt. And someone who would never follow a band on tour.
Get serious about your credit. Get Experian. Go to Experian.com and start your credit tracker trial membership today.
Big Monday is tomorrow night, part of My Home Court. Starting at 7 Eastern, Grayson Allen and Duke hosting Syracuse. Also, Jordan Jones' brother plays for Duke. Then at 9 Eastern in the Big 12, it is number 2 Oklahoma and number 17 Iowa State. Both games streaming live on Watch ESPN and the ESPN app. No doubt that brother Matt is watching Jordan this afternoon.
Also tomorrow night, Tennessee visits Notre Dame in South Bend, Indiana on the women's side.
That'll be on ESPN2. Tennessee having its struggles this season.
And even without Taya Reimer at Notre Dame is playing extremely well. The Mabry sisters are knocking it down from long range.
Marina is the freshman joining older sister Michaela. In case you're wondering, we had bench warnings for both teams just issued. Lisa Mattingly, Brian Angeline, Brian Garland. You see Baylor, Texas coming up later, and Tennessee, Notre Dame tomorrow night. We're doing some couch sitting, Carolyn. Inside position, and that's the Elena Coates effect because Howard couldn't get it out of there quick enough.
But that was smart by Howard to pass the ball out instead of just putting it up to get it stuffed right back with Wilson on your forehead.
She's very heady for a true freshman. Mitchell over to Jennings. Chelsea Jennings has come alive offensively, the senior.
But Rachel Mitchell has been huge for A&M. Defensively, blocking shots, having a defensive presence, and then there offensively, recognizing making the open pass to the open shooter.
Mitchell just played 7 minutes in the first quarter, had 3 rebounds, 3 blocks, and a steal. They need her against the talented bigs of South Carolina. Mitchell gets another rebound on the Wilson miss. A&M up by 1. South Carolina has not lost here in almost 3 years. The last time was to Texas A&M. Kelsey Bone, who started her career here at Carolina, transferred to A&M, got the winning bucket. Asia Wilson with an authoritative block.
I like the block, but I also like the blocks that stay in bounds where your team can play. When it goes out of bounds, still, the offense can now set up and underneath out of bounds play.
3 blocks for Asia Wilson, well represented. She went to Heathwood Hall High School outside of Columbia, and there's a whole mess of them wearing their T-shirts to the right of us. They showed up in force to cheer on Asia. Shot clock under 10. Courtney Williams with the miss. There's a lot of contact in there. Rachel Mitchell doing work again between Coates and Wilson, and Coates is whistled for the foul. That is her first.
When you play South Carolina, one of the biggest things that you're concerned with is combating their size. Rachel Mitchell has really neutralized that. She's flexed her muscles with her 6'7" frame.
As you mentioned, Mitchell has had an up-and-down career at A&M, but is having a really good senior season. And a good play by Mitchell. Turns the ball over, and Dawn Staley calls a timeout. She wants to draw something up. Mitchell with 3 steals already in this game.
Well, Dawn Staley, it's one of those use it or lose it. So she takes the timeout with 53 seconds. There's Asia Wilson's high school.
Eastwood Hall High in Hopkins, South Carolina. Asia says it's about 20 minutes from here if all the lights are green between here and between Columbia and Heathwood. And this is great. A lot of the people showing up. And what a great get. Lisa Welsh, who was just a wonderful player here, really started the South Carolina pipeline of kids staying home to play for Dawn Staley.
Well, when Alicia Welch stayed, not only was she a tremendous talent effort, but she was also an ambassador for the university and able to recruit great talent. So you get an Elena Coates, you get a Tiffany Mitchell, and that allows you to continue to build this program.
All right, let's see what Dawn drew up in the last timeout. Wilson at the high post. Coates wants it down low. Little lob. Wilson, so good. Asia Wilson with 13 first-half points. Just a couple of tenths of a second difference between the game and shot clock. Courtney Williams has it in her hands. Williams challenges Wilson, and probably shouldn't have done that. Time for South Carolina to counter. Sessions try to pass into Coates. Courtney Walker has time. And Courtney Walker going coast to coast to end the half. And Texas A&M led by 1 after the first quarter. They led and take a lead of 1 after the half. How about this? 14 lead changes in the first half. A great one going here. Number 2, and unbeaten South Carolina down by 1 to A&M. Time for the Land Rover halftime report. Doug and the incomparable Carol Lawson.
Bam, thank you very much. Yes, welcome into the Land Rover halftime report. Doug Kazarian alongside also the well-traveled Carol Lawson. All over the place yesterday down south calling a game. Good to have you in studio here, and a very surprising, or maybe somewhat surprising, first half score. South Carolina, undefeated, number 2 team in the country, down by 1. What do you make of this?
Well, it's been a great game plan by A&M. But let's start with South Carolina. And it's good to see Tiffany Mitchell kind of have that itch back in her step. And she's playing at a high level, particularly early in this first half. And she is, I think, the most important player on South Carolina's team because she provides balance to what Wilson and Coates do on the interior. So her ability to knock down the three-point shot, South Carolina not a great three-point shooting team, but also that slashing ability, her athleticism, and her ability to get in the paint and finish. That is critical to me as South Carolina moves forward because you have to have a guard. If you fashion yourself as a Final Four contender, which South Carolina is, you fashion yourself as a national championship contender, which South Carolina is, you have to have a game-changing guard. Tiffany Mitchell provides that for South Carolina.
All right, what about the Aggies? Up 1 at the break on the road because South Carolina's won 42 straight at home.
I love what Texas A&M is doing here. One, you're even on the glass. Actually, a little bit ahead at halftime. You have to do that when you're playing the Gamecocks. But the other thing that they're doing is they're doing a great job in the mid-range game. Chelsea Jennings knocking down shots, and then Courtney Walker knocking down mid-range shots as well. We saw this great, terrific end-to-end athletic play by Courtney Walker to end the game. But here's what South Carolina wants to do defensively, and what most teams want to do defensively. They're going to put some pressure on you on the perimeter, and they know they've got bigs behind you to stop. So what area are they giving up? They're giving up the mid-range game. Texas A&M has made some of those mid-range shots. Courtney Walker throughout her career has been a great mid-range shooter. That is what is enabling them to stay in this game. If they can continue to do that, they could pull off one of the better upsets of the season.
Anything else that's in that game plan you first mentioned at the top of this halftime report?
I think what you have to do is not let Wilson and Coates wear you down. See, there's the fact that they're big, and there's also the wear-down effect. Through second halves this season, South Carolina's been in some close games. They haven't dominated like number 1 UConn has for the better part of the season. They've been in some close games, but it's always that wear-down effect with their size. If their post players can contend with that, maintain that that margin on the boards, then A&M's got a shot here.
We'll get you back out to Columbia in just a little bit for the second half. Let's check out some other action around the country in women's basketball. We start in Kentucky. 9th-ranked Wildcats hosting Auburn, an Auburn squad that beat them earlier this season. Katie Furking for 3.
Great range Katie Furking has for Auburn, and you're right. This is a game that both teams play similar styles in terms of they're going to press. As we see Taylor Murray hit that 3 for Kentucky, they're going to turn you over. They combined for 26 turnovers in the first 20 minutes. It was a little bit sloppy, but Auburn here with the opportunity, if they're able to pull the upset to sweep Kentucky, that's a big-time boost for their resume.
Jessica Jones, the putback. Let's head to Big Ten country. 8th-ranked Maryland hosting Northwestern. Shatori Walker-Kimbrough.
One of the best wings in the country, Shatori Walker-Kimbrough. Tremendous athleticism. I love this Maryland team and how easily they score the basketball. You see Brene Mosley there, the senior point guard that's had to step in and really play well. And this is only the second point of the game for Northwestern. They were 1 for 11 from 3 before that shot, and they're able to knock that down. But the difference maker in this game, Kristen Confroy, 8 3-point shots. Ties a school record, was unbelievable from beyond the arc. Also throws in 10 boards. Quite the afternoon for Miss Confroy.
Yeah, the key really was 3-point shooting. Maryland had 8 more threes than Northwestern, so a huge effort from Confroy. Miami at Chapel Hill. Adrian Motley, 3-pointer. Another 3 for Miami. Jessica Thomas. And Hurricanes led by 6 at the break.
Yeah, when you look at the backcourt of Motley and Thomas, they overwhelmed the Tar Heels this afternoon in Chapel Hill, and just a great performance by them. And I was really impressed with Miami's execution within the half court. In the second half, they executed, and Laura Cornelius gave them good minutes off the bench, 13 and 8.
Carolina's lost 3 straight. Elsewhere, Duke hosting BC. Early moments of that one. Similar situation with 23rd-ranked Louisville visiting NC State. How about yesterday's action? The number 1 ranked team in the country, UConn, just rolling over Temple. Win by 55 in this one. Brianna Stewart, 22 and 10, also had 5 blocks. Katie Lou Samuelson, the top recruit in the country a year ago, the freshman with a career-high 21 points. And Kara, all UConn.
UConn just... I think we end up taking it for granted because of how dominant they are and how easily they make it look. It's not easy, but how easy they make it look. And you see the remaining unbeatens. Of course, we're going to get a chance to look at Texas later on today. But UConn certainly, with their 3 players that have so much experience, and you look at Stewart, and you look at Jefferson, and you look at Morgan Tuck, and you have those 3 players. The other players now are getting an opportunity in American Conference play to step up and get some minutes. You mentioned Katie Lou Samuelson with the 21 points yesterday. They also had 3 double-figure scorers off the bench. Natalie Butler back into the fray, Nafisa Collier, and then Gabby Williams. So in conference play, UConn gets a chance to get even deeper, which is a scary proposition for the rest of the country.
Don't forget, the day after the Super Bowl, South Carolina hosting UConn. We'll see if the Gamecocks are still undefeated. We have a great game coming up, speaking of undefeated. Texas hosting Baylor. We'll discuss that with Kara next.
This halftime report is presented by Land Rover. Above and beyond.
Bubba, you almost done?
A few more to go.
Great.
Whoa, what's going on here?
Oh, hey, Allison. I'm Val, the orange money retirement squirrel from Voya.
Val from Voya?
Yeah, Val from Voya.
Quick question. What are Voya retirement squirrels doing in my house?
We're putting away acorns, you know, to show the importance of saving for the future.
So you're sort of like a spokesperson?
No, I'm more like a metaphor.
Okay, a spokesmetaphor.
No,
You're a spokesmetaphor.
Yeah, okay.
See how Voya can help you get organized at Voya.com.
Hey, Tony.
Hey, Scott.
Finished up the show. Guess I'm gonna head on out of here.
Cool.
Go home and watch some television or something.
All right. Enjoy.
Duke may be young, but boy, do they play like the big men on campus. There is nothing like Cameron in.
Purple Devil. Makes no sense.
A little Cameron crazy after Duke's performance tonight.
Just don't forget to breathe.
Find me where the wild things are. Ching, ching, ching. Don't mind us here. Find me where the wild things are.
This is me talking.
We will carve our place into time and space. We will find our way, or we'll make a way.
We'll have an adventure.
Hell yeah.
Find me where the wild things are.
NBA Saturday Primetime. Bulls, Cavs, Saturday at 8:30 on ABC.
It's hard to find an expert more dedicated than John Clayton. He's the consummate pro.
We'll see how the 4-3 and the cover 3 work together.
John Clayton with the latest.
Thanks, Dan. Take care.
And whenever we need a brilliant insight, he's available at the drop of a hat.
Hey, Mom! I'm done with my segment!
You're watching the Land Rover Halftime Report.
What to watch for next on ESPN2, Top 10 Showdown in the Lone Star State. 6th-ranked Baylor visits 4th-ranked and undefeated Texas. Longhorns off to their best start in 30 years, but hey, Baylor's dominated this rivalry lately, winning the last 11 meetings. So here we have UT undefeated, getting a shot at Baylor to end this losing skid.
It's kind of nice because we're used to seeing Baylor in the last decade really be the preeminent program in the Big 12. And so you take a look at Texas and what they've done to start the season, and I think this is a big opportunity for Brooke McCarty, a guard at Texas. You talk about going against Alexis Jones and Nia Johnson in the backcourt. Experienced players that have won at a high level. I think McCarty has to step up and knock down some of those threes and have a big game today. And then when you talk about Baylor, it always starts with Nina Davis and her will, her competitiveness in big games to me is a difference maker. It's a 5'11" power forward that finds a way to make her imprint on the game. And she can do it in a variety of ways. It's going to be a fun game to watch at 3:30.
Exactly. That's coming up next. Texas, will the Longhorns be one of 2 undefeateds left in women's basketball? We'll see that because second half coming up in Columbia, South Carolina, down by 1 at the break. Gamecocks need a lot more from Asia Wilson to remain undefeated. Second half coming up. This has been the Land Rover Halftime Report.
This Halftime Report is presented by Land Rover. Above and beyond.
When a rewards card is designed to sync with your life, it gets talked about. So you can live the way you live and enjoy all the rewards. J Sapphire Preferred, so you can.
trailing at the half to Texas A&M 27-26. Cam Ward, along with Carolyn Peck. It's been almost 3 years since South Carolina lost here. Great first half. We had 14 lead changes.
Well, it's a battle of the paint. At first, South Carolina was really having their way of getting to the paint. You had Tiffany Mitchell, who was going off penetration, and then the bigs, the size of South Carolina, they were able to get the ball inside. But Gary Blair made an adjustment, and that adjustment comes by the name of Rachel Mitchell. She became the defensive stopper inside, blocking shots and making it tough to get the ball from the wing to the post on the pass. So what does South Carolina do? They look at going more post to post. You'll see Elena Coates coming down off the block on a back screen. Once she doesn't get the basketball, she will rise. When she comes up, Asia Wilson will make a post-to-post pass, and then you've got the lob for the easy two. High-low action for the Gamecocks.
And Texas A&M with the ball to start the second half. Jordan Jones with the ball in her hands. Chelsea Jennings led them in scoring with 10 points in the first half. Shot clock under 10. They're going to have to hurry. Jennings runs into not one, not two, but 3 Gamecocks and loses the ball. Inside, trying to establish Coates. There's more post-to-post passing. Wilson with the finish. Asia Wilson has over half of South Carolina's points, 15 of their 28, and we just saw lead change number 15 in this game.
I think that an adjustment Don Staley has made is going over ball screens instead of going behind. That's where Texas A&M will get the easy jumpers.
Hillsman doubled quickly. Howard misses the jump shot. She knows that's something she needs to bury. Andriel did not score in the first half. South Carolina's won 42 straight home games. Wilson, height advantage, great pass into her. I'll tell you what, Elena Coates has a nice little skill set. Timeout. A&M. South Carolina scoring the first 4 points in the second half. This is the SEC on ESPN. And the SEC's lone unbeaten team, South Carolina, now with a 30-27 win over Texas A&M. And Asia Wilson has started to take things over in the middle.
Well, Don Staley is going post to post. First, they pulled Elena Coates out to the short corner to pass to Wilson, and then pulling Coates up top to make a high-low. She's got a size advantage over Howard, and she's able to finish.
Asia Wilson has scored 12 of the 14 points that South Carolina has scored as a team since the second quarter started, as you see. And Elena Coates has tied a career high with 3 assists. So Gary Blair with the timeout. Jordan Jones with the pull-up jumper. Hillsman gets the offensive rebound for A&M. Boy, and Howard is just not even going to challenge Wilson.
Would you?
Oh, heck no. I wouldn't even go inside that painted area. Walker with a nice fadeaway. Courtney Walker with her 9th and 10th point.
Now Texas A&M going zone to see if they can stop the bleeding in the paint.
Nope, all you do is lob it in. Asia Wilson is unstoppable. Coming off a 26-point, 13-rebound, 8-block game at Kentucky. Well on her way to another double-double. Jordan Jones driving on Sessions, looking for a screen, forcing the turnover, and Sessions gets on the court. Possession arrow gives it to Carolina.
Dozier recognizes quickly. You don't hold the ball too long so the defense can rotate to help. As soon as Coates goes high, that eliminates the help side, and she's able to get the ball down low to Wilson.
We talked to Asia yesterday, and she was just talking about how she thinks about the seniors in each and every game that she plays, wants these seniors like Tina Roy to go out on a high note. Everybody's so heartbroken about the 1-point loss to Notre Dame in the Final Four last year.
Well, in that Kentucky comeback win, you mentioned Wilson was just thinking, you don't want to allow the seniors to have to experience a loss.
And now Wilson returns the favor, going back to Coates, and Asia has a huge smile on her face.
Top shelf. That post-to-post passing is unstoppable.
30 of South Carolina's 34 points coming in the paint. And a foul called as Lumpkin tried to score.
Well, it has been Coates to Wilson. This time, it's Wilson to Coates. And if you just put it up around the corner of the backboard, forget about it. Nobody else can get up there but Elena Coates.
Asia disagreeing with the second foul just called on her. This is only the 3rd free throw of the game for both teams combined. Here's Lumpkin, who left Michigan State last year after playing 15 games. She is an Illinois native that played her club ball with Kyla Hillsman, who plays for Lay Aggies, and she gets 1 out of 2. Coates with another board. 9 rebounds now for Elena Coates.
Coach is so agile, and I like how she gets off the floor. You know she was a cheerleader.
I would love to see some photographs and or video of that.
I love it. Big girl has got moves.
6'4", has always been comfortable with her height. Sessions' first shot of the game. Off the mark, rebound snagged by Walker. Jennings can't get it to go. South Carolina on the run. Mitchell's been quiet since the first quarter and misses that one. And a foul called on Tina Roy. It's the first on Tina Roy, who has not scored. She's been coming off the bench lately. Their best 3-point shooter.
Well, if this shot had gone down, this place would have erupted. And that was just a collision there. That's a good call.
Fans behind us didn't think it was a foul until they saw the replay, and they're like, yeah, that's a foul. So they're cool with that.
We get the benefit of the replay.
Good call by Lisa Mattingly. Lumpkin, nope. They need to hit those shots. Needless to say, they're not going to get too many wide open looks like that.
They're not going to get too many second chances with Elena Coates cleaning the glass.
Roy from outside. Missed it badly. Tina hits about 39% of her threes, tops on this team, and a turnover and a foul on A&M. That is the first on Jasmine Lumpkin. First time now that we have seen Sarah Amovio, the grad student from Nigeria, played her first 3 years of college ball at the University of Virginia, where she was a terrific rebounder. Sort of surprised we didn't see her in the first half.
Yeah, but I think that Dawn was really trying to establish Wilson and coach. But I love her motor.
Challenging Hillsman all the way. And the officials say it is A&M ball. Mobile led the ACC in rebounding in her junior year, just under 11 per game. Played her high school ball in the state of Virginia, but is originally from Nigeria. Williams' little head shake, and then a lot of Asia Wilson's left hand. Courtney Williams playing with a very sore back. Has not scored today. Walker knocks it out, 20 left on the shot clock for Carolina, and now Rachel Mitchell's going to come in, and Mitchell made a big, big difference in the first half defensively.
I figured it was only a matter of time with the success that South Carolina's had in the paint of when Gary Blair would go back to Rachel Mitchell.
Tiffany Mitchell bothered big time by Courtney Walker. Boy gets it inside to Asia Wilson, turns. Can't get it to go, and a good offensive board by Chelsea Jennings at 5'9", able to sneak in there. A&M playing with poise, only down by 4, make it 1. Jordan Jones. Coming back from the ACL injury, was still an honorable mention All-American last year, even though she only played 28 games. She's a gamer, great student, graduated in 3.5 years. Now a foul away from the ball on A&M. Chelsea Jennings picks up a foul as we go to a timeout.
Texas A&M hanging in there. As long as you got Jordan Jones making shots like that, we got us a good one.
A&M just down by 1 to number 2 South Carolina. Watch SportsCenter night tonight with Steve and Butchie. They'll have highlights and breakdowns. The Seahawks getting beaten down by the Panthers. Also the Steelers, Broncos, all the NBA stuff. End your day on a highlight with SportsCenter at night tonight on ESPN, streaming live on Watch ESPN and the ESPN app. Will they be talking about an upset here? There's only 3 unbeatens left in women's basketball. Dawn Staley's team is one of them, and after this, another one. Texas will play Baylor right here on this network.
That's going to be a great game. I think it'll be as close as this one, so you got to stay tuned at 3:30.
And remember, South Carolina and UConn will play here on February 8th. It is going to be a sellout here. Rachel Mitchell right away with another block. A huge impact for someone who has scored 0 points. Courtney Williams, big offensive rebound. And now Texas A&M gets another reset. Gary Blair says calm down to Jordan Jones and calls a play. He tried a motion offense during the offseason and said, we're not UConn, so they scrapped that. Didn't quite work out. Williams couldn't quite get it inside. Courtney Walker elevates over Roy. And the ball goes over to South Carolina. South Carolina has now gone over 3 minutes without scoring. Bianca Cuevas comes in for Tina Roy.
I was wondering, I was about to ask how long Dawn Staley was going to wait before she goes back with Elena Coates. You've got to have that size inside as long as Texas A&M has Rachel Mitchell on the floor.
Coates has 10 rebounds, 3 assists, 4 points this afternoon. Size advantage. Wilson passes it over to Amovio, who blew it inside. Good recognition by Wilson. And great hustle by Tiffany Mitchell to keep it alive. Wilson had it knocked away momentarily, and it's a turnover. Tiffany Mitchell looks like she would be, and she's a very nice kid. We've had a chance to talk to her, but she looks like she'd be, especially with the pigtails like the girl next door, really nice, and, you know, have a cup of tea with her. But she is one of the most competitive players I've ever seen.
She plays like Dwayne Wade. She might have pigtails, but there's no softness about her game.
She is so competitive, and she forces the turnover almost. Yes. Ball stays with A&M, but more hustle from Tiffany Mitchell. When she was being recruited by Dawn Staley, who was an idol of hers as a kid, she told Dawn Staley, I hate to lose. She wasn't sure she wanted to come to South Carolina because losing just really kills her.
Well, and that was a great get for Dawn Staley to have a player that is that competitive. You see right now, she's got it turned up. She is coming after it. She's got that focused look because this game has been nip and tuck the entire way.
Mitchell had a Dawn Staley poster on her wall as a kid and thought her family was kidding with her when they said Dawn Staley was on the phone trying to recruit her. Shot clock winding down. Courtney Williams still has not scored, but Rachel Mitchell with another offensive rebound. For someone who is scoreless, she has had the biggest impact of any A&M player. How about Jordan Jones? Talk about an impact.
Well, what Texas A&M is doing is pulling the post away to leave available block for penetration. Jordan Jones able to get by Cuevas, and then coach is having to rotate to help, but it's too late. Jordan Jones finds his seam and able to get the finish.
Cuevas with the foul. Jordan Jones, so smooth. Has 11 points, told us before the game that she has complete confidence. Coming back from an ACL, any injury like that, it's not just physical, it's mental as well, but she says that she has full confidence that she can do what she used to do.
Their physical therapist said you just got to grind it out. You got to play through it. Your game will come back to you.
Sessions left open, needs to hit that shot, but it comes out. A&M on the run. They have outscored South Carolina 7-0 over the last few minutes. And they're getting offensive rebounds against a team that usually chews up the glass.
Sarah lost in reference to the tight battle of the boards. For Texas A&M to hang with South Carolina, that's huge.
Big trouble underneath. And a block by Coates as Williams tried to sneak in. Gary Blair is not a happy man. He thought that was a foul, not a block. That's a foul on Jones trying to corral Mitchell. 3 fouls on Jordan Jones. That is huge for the Aggies. A&M out-rebounding South Carolina now by 3. Usually South Carolina is +9 on its opponents. One of the best in the nation. And that's a reach-in, no block foul on Jennings. First second. 4th team foul against A&M. Another one will send Carolina to the line to shoot 2 free throws for the rest of the quarter. The old 1-and-1 has gone away in women's basketball. A&M by 2. Cuevas trying to find someone to throw it to, and she gets Sessions.
Well, I think the post-to-post passing is what worked best, and right now you've got Jennings guarding Asia Wilson.
They weren't able to get it into her in time.
It's got to come from Coates.
Mitchell will step back, and another rebound for A&M. It's Courtney Williams. Terrible pass, but Jones was able to sneak in and take it away from Sessions.
Jordan Jones ain't gonna give up on a play. Sessions thought that was her interception all day long.
Courtney Williams off the back rim, still trying to find her shot. Courtney was 0 for 9 from the floor. Missed the last couple of games with a hurt back. And she is definitely not the Courtney Williams we're used to seeing. And the fans here at Colonial Life Arena are yelling for Gary Blair to get a technical foul because he was talking to Lisa Mattingly on the sidelines. North Carolina has now gone 6 minutes and 40 seconds without scoring. Gary Blair's team has scored the last 7 points of this game. They lead at 36-34. A&M led by 1 after the first quarter and by 1 at the break. And Hunt Staley's face says it all.
Very rarely do you see her smile on the sideline. She is searching for perfection.
When you talk about a competitive player, she was at Virginia. Oh my goodness. And with Team USA, in the WNBA, Mitchell. Rachel Mitchell has been unbelievable. A player that has not scored a single point has had the biggest impact for the Aggies.
Well, we talked about the points that Chelsea Jennings scored against Ole Miss, but Gary Blair said our highlight film was how well Rachel Mitchell played, and she's built on that confidence.
And that breaks the run for A&M as Sessions was able to score, but a good third quarter for the Aggies. They ended the quarter on a 9-2 run in their defense in full gear.
Well, and it's all about Rachel Mitchell making her presence felt. Does she have it in her for the fourth quarter? Come on back. It's going to be fun.
Back, unbeaten South Carolina down by 2 as we head to the fourth quarter. Lots of things trending on ESPNW this weekend. Always some good content on ESPNW.com, including 2 South Carolina Gamecocks named to the Wooden Award mid-season top 20 list that came out a couple days ago. You think there should be another person?
I think Elena Coates needs to be in that top 20 list. She's the best center in the country right now.
ESPNW.com has all of the information. There is Coates, 10 rebounds in this game, doing well with the post-to-post passing underneath, but her team's down.
Well, Gary Blair has done a tremendous job defensively, and there's been one key ingredient, and that young player's name, or she's not young, she's a senior, is Rachel Mitchell.
Rachel Mitchell, the 6'7" redshirt senior from Houston, has come in and made a huge impact in this game.
Yeah, usually it's South Carolina that's doing the blocking of shots and being the stopper in the paint. But so far, it's been Rachel Mitchell for Texas A&M.
Yes, 8 rebounds, 4 blocks, 3 steals. Mitchell has been called for the foul. That is her first. And speaking of Mitchell, the other Mitchell, Tiffany Mitchell, has only scored 2 points since the first quarter.
But it's the fourth quarter and it's game time. If there is anybody in the SEC that's a gamer, it's number 25, Tiffany Mitchell.
Asia Wilson at the line. To the 20-point mark. Asia Wilson outscoring her teammates. This is the 5th time this year Asia has hit the 20-point mark. Career high 28 against Duke, 26 in the last game against Kentucky, and the natives are restless. They want South Carolina to clamp it down. Walker elevates over Mitchell, so smooth.
I told you, one of the most true mid-range shooters in the country.
Gorgeous. 2-time honorable mention All-American. Mitchell blocks Sessions' path and a foul out on the perimeter, and that is a no-no. Courtney Walker picks up the foul, and Mitchell's going to shoot 3 free throws.
Courtney Walker tried to avoid the contact, but her momentum just took her into Mitchell.
Tiffany Mitchell, the best free throw shooter on this team, 81% on the season. Hurt that foot during the offseason, was immobilized for 4 to 5 weeks. And Katie Fowler, who was their terrific strength and conditioning coach, did a great job to get Tiffany back. There's Katie in the gray jacket, coming over here from Maryland after a stop at the University of Virginia. Boy, great get for them. And we saw video. Tiffany Mitchell with the boot on her foot is doing all these one-footed exercises to get back.
Doing rope pulls, sled tugs.
And this again is a player, she does not like to be out of the gym. She wants to be in the gym working. And those were 2 free throws for her. Good defense by Sessions, turns it over. 12 turnover for A&M as we are tied. It's their second tie, but we have had 16 lead changes. Check that third tie and 16 lead changes. Mitchell on the switch, guarded by the freshman, gets it to Coates. Around the horn, Cuevas. Huge 3. South Carolina have missed 9 straight threes in this game. After they hit their first one, Walker can't get the bounce, and another foul on A&M underneath.
Check out South Carolina's patience. They don't get rattled. They swing the basketball around the horn, and Bianca Cuevas knocks down that 3-point shot.
Henrielle Howard just picked up her 3rd foul for A&M. 3 team fouls against the Aggies, none against South Carolina. Wilson trying to get it into Coates, and Mitchell got another block. 5 blocks for Rachel Mitchell.
Gary Blair's got to be pleased with what he's getting out of this center, number 23, Rachel Mitchell. Defensively, she has caused problems for the Gamecocks.
Coates just called for her 2nd foul. 3-point ball game. A&M has led for most of it. Mitchell working underneath. Walker driving. Wilson, Coates, both converge. And it's A&M basketball. Nice pass. Walker finding the freshman Howard underneath. Henriel's first bucket of the game. And it's a 1-point advantage. Cuevas just hit a big three a few minutes ago. Get it inside to Coates. Off balance, no foul. Courtney Walker catches, gives it up. Asia Wilson blocks it back. 2-on-1. Cuevas, foul. Chelsea Jennings whistled for her third foul.
Watch this block. Those are the kind of blocks, you keep them in play, that leads to transition, and then Cuevas in attack mode to get to the free throw line.
7th block of the game for Asia Wilson. Rachel Mitchell, by the way, a new career high for A&M with 5 blocks. And this is coming off of a game that you did against Kentucky in which she almost had a triple-double. Another great game for Asia.
We got time for her to get a triple-double today. 3 more rebounds, 3 more blocks.
And a lane violation. Tiffany Mitchell got in too early, so wipe that free throw off the board for South Carolina. 14th turnover for the Gamecocks, right around their season average. 7 minutes left to go and a good one. Courtney Walker challenging that South Carolina defense. Mitchell tipped it to Cuevas, over to Sessions, beautiful. Jordan Jones, just what they needed to silence this crowd, at least momentarily. Jordan with 13.
Jordan Jones, calm demeanor. That's why Gary Blair started her today. He knew what this atmosphere and how it can affect your team if you don't have that leadership.
Mitchell with the miss. Jordan Jones was here 3 years ago when Texas A&M beat South Carolina. The last time South Carolina's lost on this court. 2 in a row for Jordan Jones, this time from 3. How cool is she? And A&M goes back on top. Timeout. South Carolina, Jordan Jones with the last 5. This crowd was up, screaming into it. Jordan Jones has quieted them back down again.
Jordan Jones knows how to dial it up. She called for the screen to knock down the 3. That's what Gary Blair was looking for.
I'm Doug Kazarian. Just a reminder, coming up next, Brooke McCarty and undefeated Texas will host Baylor, a top 10 matchup as the Longhorns look to remain undefeated But will South Carolina remain undefeated? Back to Pam and Carolyn.
And we've got a great one here. Number 2, and unbeaten South Carolina, trailing Texas A&M 47-46. Usually with Dawn Staley's team, they wear people down as the game goes on. It's been a different story today.
Well, you look at South Carolina's field goal percentage normally goes up. Right now, it's staying about the same, and they're shooting just under 40%. Nor are they having an effect on Texas A&M. They're not wearing them down. Their field goal percentage is not that bad. They're shooting almost 36%, but they're hanging around.
And over the course of the season coming into today's game, South Carolina's opponents only shoot 29% in the fourth quarter. But it has been a different story. Jordan Jones has hit the last 5 points for A&M after Carolina went on top and this crowd got into it. Well over 12,000 folks here, and Asia Wilson falls down. Jones with the ball in her hands. 15 turnovers for South Carolina. Jones picks up her dribble.
The adjustment from the first half to the second half is South Carolina's going over the top of the screens. Well, that hedge at the post momentarily, that's opening up other players if it doesn't give the guards the shot.
Shot clock winding down. They're not going to get one off. Great defense by Carolina. Here's a 2-on-1. Bianca Cuevas goes by Mitchell. Yes! In the basket. Gary Blair, before the game, said he told his players not to contest shots because he didn't want three-point plays. Not to contest layups like this, and let's see if it was indeed a foul.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, it was early, if anything, before the shot. I didn't know that it was in the act of shooting.
Cuevas with a big three-point play. And Carolina on top by 2. Cuevas with 7 points in this quarter. And A&M respond again. Walker gets it over to Howard, and they got coaxed in there. And then the foul called on A&M's Chelsea Jennings. They are continuing to try to get shots up inside, but Wilson and Coates are like the great big wall in there.
Coates with that 11th rebound. That was scary with the way she came down, but she immediately popped right up and was telling her teammates, I'm okay.
Elena Coates, a junior from Irmo, South Carolina, started for USA Basketball this summer. Sky high, her confidence got off to a slow start this season. She had a triple-double in this building against Winthrop in mid-December. 29 points, 16 rebounds, 10 blocks, and since then, her season's really taken off.
I think 2 things turned her around. The USA Basketball, and I think also Katie Fowler. She found a way to entice the big girl to get in shape. She could challenge her, and Katie learned what turned Elena up. She really stayed after her. In the arena, very similar here of where they have practice, Elena overslept. And so Katie said, well, since you overslept, you've got to run every step throughout this arena. Katie ran it with her. She said about halfway through it, she started asking asking Elena how she grew up, where she was from. So she said by the time she trained her, she knew everything she needed to about Elena Coates.
And needless to say, that was the only time, that Elena showed up late for a workout. Said that she slept through her alarm or set the alarm to PM instead of AM. Crucial time here for A&M. Jones fouled by Cuevas. They're going to call any contact out on the perimeter, and there was quite a bit of it there. 2 on Bianca, who's been a good offensive threat, scoring 7 points in this quarter.
After that foul, Dawn Staley immediately jumped up and looked at Cuevas and said, that's okay. That's okay. I like your hustle.
Walker over Wilson's outstretched fingertips. Cuevas with the offensive rebound. Sessions found the lane. South Carolina by 5. Gary Blair calls timeout.
Khadijah Sessions, a heady point guard, recognizes that Elena Coates has cleared the lane, posted up, so she can go straight to the basket on the left side.
South Carolina trailed by 1 at the half, trailed by 2 coming into this fourth quarter. And they are scoring in bunches in the paint.
I'm going to tell you, Pam, this happened in the Kentucky game. Khadijah Sessions is one of these point guards that you really don't recognize early in the game, but it's in the fourth quarter. When her team needs it, she makes big plays. And the other thing that Dawn Staley has done is she has played Bianca Cuevas and Khadijah Sessions together. Tina Roy wasn't hitting shots. Asia Dozier was a little gimpy on her knee, and these 2 point guards have played very well together.
A 6-0 run has given South Carolina this 5-point lead. Courtney Walker's played every second of this game for A&M. Courtney Williams has not scored until just now, toughing it out with a bad back today.
And she didn't look comfortable as she's going back down the floor either.
That's the last 2 games for A&M. Wins over Ole Miss and LSU. And it's only a 3-point advantage with 3:35 left to go. Shot clock in single digits. Asia Wilson, good choice. That was with the right hand. It's 23 points for Wilson. Jordan Jones, just a little bit too strong. Wilson's 8th rebound of the night. 3 minutes to go.
Keep an eye on Coates because she's been clearing pass. Her posting up is almost as good as an assist because it's given lanes for the drivers to get to the basket.
Hey, awesome. What was that?
I think Dawn Staley's asking that same question.
I think she had Elena Coates there to rebound it. That was that's shot selection that Dawn has talked to Bianca about this year. I think she'll have a conversation about that one. Asia Wilson draws the foul.
You watch Elena Coates post up on Kyla Hillsman. She continues to work, and as Asia Wilson drives, she rides Hillsman up the lane, so Wilson has the easy 2.
Doing the little things that don't show up in the stat sheet. Asia Wilson fouled by Jordan Jones, who picked up her 4th.
See, it's just the presence of Elena Coates. Makes you, she's got to be on that wood list.
And you think she's the best center in the country?
Name me another one. With her size, you do the research. Next time we're together, Pam, we'll talk about it.
1 or 2 for Wilson at the line. Rebound taken down by Howard, who just checked in. Asia Wilson has scored 50 points in her last 2 games. Jones to Walker. Nice. Gets the pass over to Howard. And hanging in there, only down by 4 as we approach 2 minutes to go in the game. South Carolina, 16-0 on the season. Only the seniors on this team have ever lost in this building. Mitchell trying to draw the foul, nothing called, and a big rebound for Kyla Hillsman. Jordan Jones takes the mouth guard out of her mouth, puts it back in. Walker got a little bit of a screen from Howard. That's all she needed.
You just cannot go. You can't go behind the screen on Courtney Walker.
She makes him pay every time, it seems. Wilson somehow caught that in traffic, got fouled. Yes! Asia Wilson, the pride of Heathwood High School, does it again.
On that ball screen, Courtney Walker, Tiffany Mitchell goes underneath, and she just needs a split-second time to get the shot off. That's tough to guard.
Wilson sitting on 26 points. Still a two-possession game. Jones guarded by Cuevas, puts up the three and an out. Rebound huge for Howard, but Sessions knocked it away. And a foul underneath. They're going to get, looks like a double foul on Hillsman and Coates.
Two big players going at it underneath. That's a battle. That's a good call for the double foul.
Coates doesn't really like to be, well, she'll respond to physicality. Let's put it that way.
Look, don't poke the bear.
Yeah.
You poke the bear, that bear is going to rile up and poke you back.
Coates with 10 rebounds, 5 points, and set some terrific screens.
Well, just the presence of her posting up, the attention she draws opens up things for the rest of her team.
It's 3 fouls on Coates and Hillsman. A&M with 5 team fouls, so South Carolina shooting 2 free throws for the rest of the quarter. And right now, time is of the essence. Carolina with the ball, and A&M not coming after it. Mitchell, boy, she dribbled right into a bunch of players, but then Tiffany Mitchell tried to get in there. It's still a shot clock violation, with just 28.2 seconds left. And A&M needs a couple of buckets. Dawn wants a timeout. See his staff, Dawn's staff wearing the We Back Pat t-shirts. The initiative for the legendary Pat Summit and her foundation is that fight continues against Alzheimer's disease. And a timeout at a crucial time for both ball clubs. So the officials are going over to look. Now the shot clock did not reset after the double fouls. And they just want to make sure that everything is in order here. Double foul happened before that. So Lisa Manning went over there talking to the official scorekeeper. South Carolina's won 42 straight games in this arena. That is tops in the country for a home winning streak. UConn is second with 40 straight home wins. And these two teams are going to play in 3 weeks right here in a sold-out building, UConn and South Carolina.
I think that's going to be a terrific contest. I think the biggest difference, what's going to make the difference, is free throws. South Carolina, when they get to the free throw line, they get there often. They don't shoot very well. And Connecticut, they don't foul a lot.
Yeah.
So the opportunities that South Carolina gets, they're going to have to be able to take advantage of that.
All right, so A&M does have the basketball. Gary Blair has just subbed in. Taylor Cooper, who is a very good three-point shooter, she's going to inbound it for A&M. They need points in a hurry.
They want to score quick, then they want to foul.
That's okay.
South Carolina has a foul to give.
Yep. Sessions second.
But see now, Texas A&M needs to score quick. They need to foul. Put South Carolina at the free throw line. They still have one timeout left, Texas A&M. And in the new rules this season, now you can advance the ball under 59 seconds. So there's plenty of time for them to do that.
Courtney Walker guarded by Sessions. And a foul that will send Sessions to the free throw line because that is the 5th team foul. And Courtney Walker has played every second of this game. Senior from Edmond, Oklahoma, averaging over 20 points per game in her last 6 games. Now has 15. Rachel Mitchell, and this is a defense for offense substitution. Cooper, the three-point shooter, goes out. Mitchell, the shot blocker and defender, comes in. Jennings goes out in favor of Shalante Allen, the first time we've seen her.
And now South Carolina's got 2 timeouts. They could call timeout here on the rebound or after the make and advance the ball because Texas A&M is going to bring full court pressure.
Actually, Jennings stays in the game. They took Jordan Jones out. Because Jones has 4 fouls, and Coach Blair doesn't want her to foul out right now. Asia Wilson having another terrific day on the court.
The sophomore has demanded the basketball and played strong and fierce, taking the ball to the basket. This has been a physical game, and only the strong survive. But the sophomore has not backed down from the defensive presence of Texas A&M, and she's been the main production of paint points for the Gamecocks.
Asia Wilson, 11 of 19 from the floor. She has 8 blocks. Look at that. 8 in her last game. So her last 2 games, that's not bad. That's 26 points, 10.5 rebounds, and 8 blocks on average.
And this is against a ranked team.
Yeah, Kentucky on the road, tough place to play. Ranked team here in A&M.
Player of the Year candidate for sure.
20 seconds to go. They put the 6'7" Mitchell on Sessions, who tries to inbound. And then a hold called on Howard. So who goes to the line? You don't want Tiffany Mitchell on the line, and that's who's going.
I was going to say, it's not a bad idea to foul,
but not her.
That's the one you don't want to foul.
As Elena Coates is only a 56% free throw shooter. Wilson at 64% on the season, but Mitchell terrific at 81%.
She'd already missed one today. So now it's a one-possession game whether she makes this one or not.
She missed them both. How about that? So one possession, if indeed A&M can hit a 3 and get fouled, but they got to hurry. Jordan Jones has the timeout called by Gary Blair with 13.3 seconds left to go. That is the last timeout for A&M.
Jordan Jones has been big. Gary Blair made the decision to start his senior. He needed composure, and this young lady has done a nice job of dialing up. When the Aggies needed an answer, she was the one that was able to bring it. I would not be surprised with this last few seconds left on the clock that Gary Blair dials up Jordan Jones to take the final shot.
There's your reset. A&M out of timeouts. Both teams in the bonus, so 2 free throws on every foul. Possession arrow in favor of A&M. Jordan Jones coming back from the ACL injury, 3 of 5 from range today, hit 5 straight points when they really needed it to stay close in the 4th quarter.
Pam Ward, I predict overtime.
They're going to get 4 points in 13.3 seconds.
2-point game. 57-55. That's 2 points.
You're right.
Because it's going to be either Jordan Jones or Courtney Walker. And Courtney Walker coming off screens, if the South Carolina defense goes behind it, A&M has been deadly. If you fight to go over the top, there's a high probability that you could foul and put Texas A&M at the free throw line.
It is indeed a 2-point game. Carolina only up by 2. Taylor Cooper inbounds it, and Dawn Staley wants a timeout. Big Monday coming up tomorrow night, part of My Home Court. 2 big games at 7 Eastern. It's men's basketball. Syracuse takes on number 9 Duke in the ACC. And then at 9 Eastern in the Big 12, always entertaining to watch Buddy Hield and Oklahoma play. They will take on Iowa State. Both games streaming live on Watch ESPN and the ESPN app.
Now, one of the things we talked to Gary Blair about was, what do you think the vulnerability is of South Carolina? And he said they have not been in close games this year. He has. His team's been in this situation. So how will South Carolina handle defending these last 13 seconds on the clock?
South Carolina did have a game earlier this season in Hawaii in which they escaped against Arizona State. Asia Wilson hit 2 free throws. A foul was called late in that game, but other than that, they've had close games, but towards the end, very few have come down to a situation like this.
Right, where they are holding off for the win. You've got to defend, and you've got to defend without fouling, and you have got to rebound the heck out of the basketball.
Danny Williams and Taylor Cooper, 2 very good three-point shooters, are in for A&M. Jordan Jones can shoot the 3, guarded by Sessions. Here we go. They only needed 2 to tie it. Jones goes by Wilson, puts it up, and is fouled! With just under 3 seconds to go, Jordan Jones will have an opportunity to tie this game.
South Carolina switching screens. That leaves a big to defend. Jordan Jones going to the basket, and Asia Wilson fouls her. So now Texas A&M will have an opportunity with 2 free throws to tie this game up.
Jordan Jones, 1 for 1 from the line today, 79% for the season. And they're looking to make sure that the clock is exactly where it should be. Right now it's at 2.8 seconds.
They may put 2 seconds back on the clock from when the whistle was blown.
57-55. A&M winning 6 of their last 7 games. Comebacks from Lisa Mattingly and Brian Eckerline over there listening to try to see how much time was left when the whistle was blown. Right now it's all on the shoulders of Jordan Jones. Both teams out of timeouts. .5, so they put quite a bit of time on the clock, and now no timeouts for either team. So if Jones hits the free throws and ties it, South Carolina cannot advance the ball because they can't call a timeout. One of the new rules in women's basketball this year.
With 4 or 5 seconds, it's plenty of time to inbound the ball, catch, and attack.
They have Mitchell and Cuevas all the way down at the end of the floor. But it could be a moot point. Jordan Jones, 1 out of 2. And then the foul on Jones, trying to steal it away from Sessions. And Jordan Jones has just fouled out of this game. Jordan Jones played a wonderful game, but she is going to remember missing that free throw.
But there's still 3.4 seconds, and Kadisha Sessions needs to make these free throws to seal the deal.
And she is one of the players that you don't mind putting on the line 65% on the season. This is her first free throw attempt of this game. Mary Blair taking out Rachel Mitchell. Putting in Shalonte Allen for a little more offense.
Dawn Staley has come out of her heels. Put the tennis shoe sneakers on.
Sessions misses it. Baylor and Texas will follow us as soon as this game is over. Texas and South Carolina, 2 of the 3 remaining unbeatens in the nation, along with UConn. Sessions hits the free throw. No timeout for A&M. Knocked back by Sessions, who was fired up. Cooper trying to throw it in is only 5'11". Coates is 6'4". Throws it, it's grabbed by Jennings, who puts it in! Chelsea Jennings with 2 seconds left. Put it in, and now a foul has been called. Shalonte Allen has been called for a foul.
Throwing it the length of the court.
Now Sessions goes right back to the free throw line. She has 2 shots. If she makes one of them, Carolina's sitting pretty.
Now with .9, you got to catch and let it go.
She got it! Mitchell. Stolen by the other Mitchell. And South Carolina survives. (59-58). They go to 17-0 on the season. They win their 43rd straight at home, but it came down to literally less than 1 second left to go in the game.
It was back and forth all day, and the presence of Asia Wilson inside was huge for the Gamecocks. But I'm going to tell you, Texas A&M had a terrific game plan. They were able to battle. I'm not understanding why the foul there. Why Texas A&M fouled to end the game. Just let it go into overtime.
What a game. Can Baylor, Texas top it? Very difficult. That's coming up next. For Carolyn Peck and our entire crew, I'm Pam Ward. As Dawn Staley's team remains unbeaten, they take it by the final of 59-58. Coming up next, it's Baylor, Texas, as we say so long from Columbia.